Front Range League baseball action on the Front Range Baseball Network in town. Rivalry showdown. Fort Collins Foxes hosting the NoCo Prospectors in Front Range League play. Thad Anderson with you from City Park in Fort Collins. Glad you're on the network with us tonight. 3 games going on around the network. Tell you more about that after we roll in with pitch 1. Take a run off the board. They don't get a spot 'em one. Get that one out of the Prospectors bug box. Here's pitch 1 from Matthew Eubanks. That is through the zone. Leadoff batter Riley Suarez looked at it, knew it was good, thought about pulling the trigger on a first pitch hack, checked his swing, and an 0-1 count. Beautiful Tuesday night at City Park in Fort Collins. 9-inning baseball game. Pitch upstairs will go to a 1-1 count now for Riley Suarez out of the leadoff spot for the NoCo Prospectors. Suarez plays at NJC, Northeastern Junior College. He's out of Loveland, Colorado, and Thompson Valley High. He'll take up and in from Matthew Eubanks. Righty, the starter from Dordt University in Iowa, Concordia, Kansas, his home. The 6'4" righty Eubanks cutting a tall profile on the tall hill at City Park in Fort Collins. Bends a pitch to the zone and a 2-2 count. Now the 2-2 to Suarez. Brought some heat down and away. Suarez grounds that to the right side. Second base pickup and put away. 1 down. Owen May at second base to Hank Smith at first base. Liam Schilling will play shortstop. You just saw Suarez. Riley will play center field defensively for the Prospectors. And now Liam Schilling, the shortstop, right side batter's box. Prospectors in the third base dugout as sun breaks loose again, spraying across from the northwest. Sun angle shooting to the southeast. Strike 1 to Liam Schilling. And now 2 strikes as Schilling fouls it away. Liam played at Prospect Ridge Academy, Broomfield, his hometown in Colorado. Liam has a couple strikes against him. Swing and a miss. Eubanks has the K. Behind the plate, Vinny Engel completes the battery with Eubanks. Dalton Berg, left-handed stick, right fielder on defense. Coming to the plate, Dalton Berg. Catcher Gladish, the left fielder. Catcher Gladish on deck for the Prospectors. Due up next if Dalton Berg can extend the inning. One ball count. Second pitch from Eubanks to Berg is down and away for a strike, hitting that low outer part of the zone. Breaking pitch. Nice layoff by Berg. Let that break to the underneath zone area. 2-1 is the count with 2 down in the top of the first. Breaking ball this time finds it and it's deuces. Laying off for a full count, 3-2, 2 away. just missed on the outer edge. Vinny Engel framed it up, and that is a free pass to Dalton Berg, first base runner of the top of the first for NoCo Prospectors. Younger roster for the Prospectors. Head coach Chris Nobbenshoe guiding the effort. Jamie Thompson assisting with his son Braden Thompson as a player coach, the three who head up this Prospectors roster. Now a pitch loose. That's a passed ball at the plate. Down to second goes Dalton Berg with 2 out. Berg at second base with 2 away. Eubanks. Multiple heel lifts on the set position from Eubanks. Sends the pitch. Gladish fooled by that one as it broke out of the zone, and Gladish decelerated the swing as he deployed it. Knew he had been had. Eubanks takes a look back to second, now sends it plateward, missed down and away. Vinny Engel stabbing to make that receive. 2 ball, 1 strike count to catcher Gladish. Gladish from Brighton, Colorado, Western Nebraska Community College in Scotts Bluff, where he's continuing his baseball days. Fouled it away for a 2-2. Again, deuces this time with a runner at second. All excited. Had the 3-camera setup cooking, but the technology still not linking. Got your home plate cam on the other side of the chain link. Here's the pitch. Gladish hits that hard. That's going to get down and right. Is it going to get gone to right? Bangs off the top of hit the scoreboard, I believe, and that is gone. Now we got to see what the ruling is. Going to call that a double. That never hit the ground. Yep, that's a 4-bagger. They got it right. That was weird. That either hit the top of the fence and popped over or hit the scoreboard apparatus. Either way, that's a 2-run bomb for catcher Gladish in the top of the first. Prospectors strike first, taking the 2-0 lead.
Now batting number 28, Charles Baker.
Charles Baker, the third baseman, now in. Strike 1 to Baker after the Gladish 2-run shot with 2 outs, had 2 strikes up against him, and Gladish went the other way. It's 335 down the right field line as it is down the left field line. 335 the distance. That one hit right at the top of the fence, either the top of the fence or the scoreboard. Pop up deep to shallow right. Owen May, the second baseman, way out there in deep, shallow right. And that is the 3rd out on the pop out to Owen May. But the 2-run blast after the walk to Dalton Berg. Catcher Gladish cashes it in with a couple of runs on that swing. We'll go to the bottom of the first of a scheduled 9-inning ball game. NoCo Prospectors grab the lead 2-0 over the Foxes.
Cliche Country, Sugar Lake's unicorn of radio. Wide open and in the saddle. Tough, gritty. We are servant leaders with exceptional bandwidth who give 110%. So open a can of worms and beat a dead horse. Get outside the box. 108.1 FM. Put a pin in it for a win-win situation. Sugar Lake's Cliche Country, 108.1 FM. It is what it is. You got this. Have a nice rest of your day.
Return to City Park with the Foxes now batting. First chance for the top three in the order to come to the plate. The left side, Nuri Todd from South Mountain Community College knucks up the catcher for NoCo Prospectors, Kyler Adams. Nuri saying hello, and Nuri just had a great experience at the D2 World Series, Division II World Series with South Mountain. Extended his season, missed the first few games for the Foxes as he awaited the finish of his collegiate season at South Mountain. Nuri just chatting it up with catcher Kyler Adams. Everybody kind of hanging out, waiting. And I guess that's because we're missing a first baseman. That's the reason. I wondered what the delay was. It is a vacated first base. You can see that on your screen. You got Sean Grogan, umpire, just foul of the bag, standing looking perplexed with his one arm crossed, one elbow on the other hand on mouth, and a delay in getting our first baseman assigned. Ethan Ryberty is slated at first base. Starting pitcher Jack Prenny on the hill for NoCo Prospectors. Prenny 6'4", 210 righty out of Fort Collins and Poudre High School. CSU Pueblo, his collegiate home for baseball. So we'll see if Ryberty is who emerges to play first base. Second baseman is Braden Bay. Third baseman Charles Baker. At shortstop Liam Schilling. Your battery is Jack Prenny and Kyler Adams for the Prospectors. Adams behind the plate. Jay Satterfield DHing in the number 8 spot tonight for the Prospectors, with Riley Suarez in center, flanked by catcher Gladish in left. He of the 2-run home run in the top of the first, and the right fielder Dalton Berg. Ethan Ryberty wears number 18.
Today's game is brought to you by KeyBank. Dream big, save
We'll
smart.
see if that's the number who emerges from the dugout.
Guidance and a team that's always in your corner. Visit one of our 3 Fort Collins or Loveland locations.
No signs of franticness or distress on the the third base dugout side, just sort of awaiting the emergence. Now, umpire crew will go check in on status to get this puppy rolling. So we have a defender delay. Justin Moore is behind the plate tonight. Justin Moore, plate umpire over at the third base leaning rail, checking on the defensive status. As I said, Sean Grogan working the bases tonight, 2 umpire crew. Justin's dad, Harlan Moore, longtime friend of mine, and his grandpa, Harold Moore. So I think it was a glove repair. There goes the jog out by the first baseman. He gets the big entrance. Everybody was just waiting to see the run on from Ethan Ryberty. He's still kind of playing with his glove a little bit. I think what happened was they were warming up and he popped something in his lacing, and so Ryberty is now in his position at first, and Nuri Todd, center fielder, leadoff batter, brings the electricity at the top of the order as he jumps back in for his second season with the Fort Collins Foxes. Ball down. Todd, big chopper, will test that glove right away. Ryberty, now he's going to flip it, and Todd's going to beat that. Ryberty needed to take off for the bag himself. I think Prenny might have been a little late on the departure from the mound, but the chopper turns into a hustle single for Nuri Todd, and that is what he will do off the top, with the Foxes getting to deploy Nuri now. Nuri out of the Phoenix, Arizona area, playing in his home metropolitan area for collegiate ball. Has one more year at South Mountain. And again, his second season here in Fort Collins. Said he loves coming here and spending his summer here in Colorado. Pick throw, Prenny aware of the speed over there. Prenny's pitch Saw Jack throw in Arvada last week when I was there to call a game with Diamond Club and the Prospectors. Jack back on the hill. Just delivered ball one. Todd takes off. Strike on the pitch. Todd slides in safely. Ball pops free. No chance to advance. Stolen base to 2 for Nuri Todd. Strike on the pitch. Now Todd takes off again. This ball ripped to center, and on the retreat, that hits at the base of the fence. Owen May, a double to exchange the spots with Nuri Todd. Todd was stealing on the swing, and May destroyed that to center field. That hit off the base of the fence at 378 in center field. Wood bat baseball. Owen May earned that one. Good hack. First run of the game up for the Foxes as they quickly cut the lead in half after the Prospectors got the 2-run shot in the top of the first. Opposite way home run for catcher Gladish with 2 outs. Hank Smith now in. Smith, left side batter, plays first base. Hank from Scottsdale, Arizona, plays at the same CC, Scottsdale Community College. In his hometown, spin and fling a throw back to shortstop to Liam Schilling. Prenny back up on the hill. Owen May, what a swing from Owen out of Point Loma, California, Bakersfield, CA. His college at Point Loma. Prenny's pitch, that shot through the opposite side. 5.5 line drive shot. May rounds it. Game is tied at 2-2 on an RBI single. Hank Smith sends it the other way.
Fox is tied up at 2 apiece. That'll bring up number 32.
Well, that didn't take long. Foxes immediately answer the 2 runs by the Prospectors. Jack Prenny going to try to find a different result. 3 have come up to the plate and 3 have reached. Nuri Todd's chopper is a pull shot by the lefty right down the first base line that Ethan Ryberty fielded. Breaking ball strike. I think if Ryberty would have taken off, he stopped and looked at his glove when he caught it. I know he'd just been fixing his glove, so I think he was checking to make sure the equipment was functioning properly, but that little delay and then not a dead sprint. And again, Prenny late diving stop at third. What a play. Fire across, and it pulled Ryberty off the bag. Brett Lamb with a beautiful leather play down the line at third. Couldn't keep the throw on line. He had him if he hit the spot, but pulled Ryberty. That's a base hit for Bertucci. Pretty slick play with a glove at third by Charles Baker at third. Awesome effort from Baker. The throw had plenty on it. Charles let it rip just a little wide for Rybert. He had to slide the foot off. His ball to the right will hang up enough for the first out. So the first out is a well-hit ball, line out to right by Elijah Morales. And one away. And for the Prospectors, sometimes that's what you need. You just got to have something happen that derails the train. 4 consecutive hits to open the game for the Foxes and a sharp line out to right. Dalton Berg made the catch. That ball still had a lot on it when it got to him head high, just above his head. Now this ball popped up. That'll get foul. Might land on top of my Fox box. Nope, that got out of here. 0-1 count, 1 away. Cade Gavina, left fielder. I talked to Cade pregame today, thanked him for his work with some of our young players in the Fort Collins Baseball Club. Strike delivered, and Cade didn't think so. 0-2 the count now with Cade smiling and nodding, but not in belief about that call. Cade out of Amarillo, Texas, spending his summer in Fort Collins, Colorado, working with the young ball players of our community. Did a great job with his work last week. There's 1 out, 2 aboard. Score tied 2-2. Playing 9 innings tonight. City Park, the place to be this week. Game here every night, all the way through Sunday. Some home games for the Foxes and the Prospectors here at City Park. Ground ball going to get through the left side. Runner coming around. Hank Smith will round and go and score. Foxes have the lead on the single by Cade Gavina with a 2-strike count on him. Gavina, solid swing, sends it through the left side. RBI. 3-2, Foxes on top. Still runners at first and second. Now the bullpen has some movement down there. Prenny's having a tough time finding outs. The one he did was a line shot. This ball turned on and sent foul. That'll be a 1-1 count. Gunnar Heikert, shortstop, batting number 7. He's in with a 1-1 count and 1 out. Elijah Einen bats next, third baseman, and Vinny Angle, the catcher, in the 9 spot. This is the 7th batter to come to the plate in the bottom of 1. Taken off from second is Bertucci. Throw to third. A leaping lay-down grab. Not quite a dive, but layout by Charles Baker kept that on the infield. Trail runner did not take off. So Cade Gavina now at first with a 1st and 3rd situation for the Foxes. Nick Bertucci liked something he saw in the timing. There's a strikeout pitch. Prenny gets one himself, and they're 2 down with Heikert on the K. 2 down. 1-run lead for the home team, the Fort Collins Foxes. Under the same umbrella, Mesa Sports Group is the name of the larger entity that now owns and facilitates the Fort Collins Foxes and the NoCo Prospectors. And what the heck, throw in the Boulder 64s for good measure. 3 teams under the Mesa Sports Group umbrella. Bending pitch missed the zone. Elijah Einen, 1 ball against him. We'll see if Cade Gavina takes off. There he goes on a 1st and 3rd. Not going to go at it. Defensive indifference down to second base goes Gavina. Now Einen with 2 out there to push the lead larger. Tried a breaking ball. Now a 2-1 count on the miss. The Prospectors catcher Kyler Adams. I've enjoyed talking to him on a few chats. We've had a chance to share in the first week plus of Front Range League play. Kyler out of Erie, Colorado, plays at Western Nebraska, his college home. That ball's going to go to right. 1 run's in for sure. 2nd run coming around. Here's the throw from right field. Down at the plate, and ahead of the throw is Gavina. 2 more come in for the Foxes. 5-3 on a 2 RBI single from Elijah Einen.
Up to bat number 10, Vinny Angle.
Everybody has come to the plate this inning for the Foxes. Ninth batter up, 5 runs tallied, and Prenny is going to give up another base hit right back through the middle. And holding up at second base is Elijah Einen. Well, they've all had a chance to see the batter's box in this inning, and they have been good. In order in the inning for the Foxes, single, infield single, then a double, single, single, line out, single, strikeout, single, single. 7 hits in the innings, 7 of them. And Nuri Todd bats for the second time in the first. Back to the top of the order. Jack Prenny on the mound trying to find one more to get his team back to the third base dugout. Todd, a little off balance there, front-footed that, fouled it away. That one bounced right over my truck, parked at the Fort Collins Baseball Club office. Might have bounced into the ditch, which is flowing full after a week of rain here. Todd back to first base again. This one bobbled and dropped, and Todd's aboard again. He's hit 2 balls to first base. One, an infield single. This one, an error on a multi-hopper. First error of the inning committed by the Prospectors, and the saga continues. Foxes flipping back through their schedule. Got bases full here with 2 outs. Back in the box is Owen May, his second AB of the first inning. May doubled RBI double, then scored the second run of the inning. Foxes played on Saturday, did not have a game on Sunday. Pitch just missed. Owen May, 2-0 count. Foxes beat the Spradley Collegians in Pueblo on Saturday, 7-5. Prenny's pitch, that one missed. Has not been a walk or a hit by pitch in the inning, but now a 3-0 count. If you issue a freebie here, it's a run also. Prenny well aware. Yeah, they played 2 on Saturday. There is a walk pitch, and that's a new way an RBI is generated in this inning.
6-2.
Todd down to second. Angle over to third, and Elijah Einen, after his 2 RBI single, comes around to touch the plate. 6-2 the score. Base is still full for number 3 batter, Hank Smith. So Saturday in Pueblo, it was a 2-game day, and the Foxes swept that pair 7-5 and 6-1. Nuri Todd was in the lineup on Saturday in his return after the D2 World Series in Enid, Oklahoma.
12, Hank Smith.
Todd looks like he played in one of those 2 games, went 1 for 4, but just a different dynamic at the top of the order with Nuri there. The speed and the energy. Strike after the mound visit. Phoenix West had handled some leadoff. We'll see what happens. Phoenix, I believe I don't think I've seen him today. I know he was out, I think, on a visit, a school visit, a program visit. Phoenix does some lessons and camp support, young youth ball player support for us here with the Fort Collins Baseball Club and the partnership with the Foxes. So Phoenix, you got him to put in this order. The Foxes roster really rounding out now into this summer season. Chopper to first, and that takes a big second hop, and that is through for another error. A couple runs have scored, second and third, and the Prospectors can't get out of this.
8-2.
8 runs in the inning. Ethan Riberty holding his right pinky.
Bertucci.
Got that ball took a bite out of the hand on him. Logan Gutterman is coaching first base for the Foxes. One of the players, a left-handed pitcher, Gutterman, coaching first, has had a lot of traffic, and I don't know if he got a dislocation or something there. I think it might be a dislocation. You can see it from here as Ethan Riberty walks off, and his finger not in good shape. Gutterman was checking on him, and then off he walked with, looks like maybe a little damage to the finger. Braden Thompson takes over at first base. Well, the 2-run shot in the top of the first, and things were feeling good for the NoCo Prospectors, but that has all flipped over in the bottom of one. Bertucci swings and fouls it at the plate. Big hack from Nick. Hank Smith went to second on the error on his swing. Owen May over to third. Todd and I think that was Angle that scored on that. 8 runs are in. Prenny fires one past the swing of Nick Bertucci. In with that pitch. Prenny taps his chest. My bad to his catcher, Kyler Adams. Pitch sailed on him a little bit. Prenny's pitch is a bouncer that'll be a wild one for a run. Owen May trots home with the 9th run of the inning on a wild pitch. Hank Smith moves along to third base. Seven hits in the inning now, a couple errors, a walk, a wild pitch. That's the trouble when you give just an extra out here or there. Damage piles up. Bertucci takes a tough delivery, bearing in toward him. It was a 2-2 count, and Bertucci's down looking. And that will cap a very busy first inning, scheduled 9-inning game. We'll see after that where it goes next, as the Foxes hammer out 9 runs in the bottom one. And it's 9-2. Top of the second will be Prospectors number 6, 7, and 8 batters, Braden Bay, Kyler Adams, and Jace Satterfield. Here's Braden Bay to lead off the top of 2. Breaking pitch, swing and a miss. Thanks to Dan McGeen calling our game on the Front Range Baseball Network tonight from Greeley. Appreciate Dan's involvement. Dan has a son playing for the Greeley Grays, celebrating their 100th year of existence. Here's a strike called and a 1-2 count. Matthew Eubanks, first batter of the top of two. Long sit for him. 1-2 pitch was down 2-2. Eubanks, that long wait between innings with the extended offense for the Foxes. 13 batters came to the plate. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Jack Prenny, but that was some labor to get through. Bottom of 1, swing and a strikeout pitch. Swinging through it was Braden Bay. 1 away, Eubanks with his second K in this second inning of work. Catcher Kyler Eubanks, righty, steps in. Eubanks at 26 pitches working in the second. Prenny 37 pitches to get through that first inning, facing 13 batters. Strike called against Adams, 1-1 count. Slider, the Fox mascot, strolling down below. Eubanks pitch up high. Two-one delivery on the way. Full windup for Eubanks. Slightly to the first base side of the rubber, not heavily. He'll miss that pitch. Spun out of his finish on that. Unsmooth there, and Eubanks will reset himself. Glove folded with the ball hanging in his right arm at his hip into his windup on a 3-1. Breaking ball. Adams squirts that to the right side. And Adams never got out of the box. I think he thought that was going foul. I don't know what happened there. He was watching it, and that was played at first base. Stepped on by Hank Smith, 2 away. First base unassisted for the second out. It was a weird ball off the bat. It was not one that, he might have thought it hit his toe or anything. It was kind of lobbed in the air off the bat, soft liner with a bunch of spin on it, slicing down the first baseline, and Adams spectated that one. I don't think that was, a lack of hustle. Just from what I saw, it wasn't it's a bad ball, I'm not even going to run. I'm guessing he thought it was going foul. Smith easily played it. Fouled away by Jace Satterfield. 1-1 count to Satterfield with 2 down, nobody aboard. Prospectors sent 5 batters to the plate in the top of the first, followed by 13 from the Foxes. Breaking pitch. It kind of broke. It just started way too high and wide. Vinny Engel just did the little head nod and 2 hands up, kind of the, so what gesture. Eubanks looks in again. Matthew, another of our excellent instructors who've worked with kids in the first roughly 2 weeks of time here in Fort Collins. Nice pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2, 2 down. Got rave reviews from the young people about getting to work with Fox's starting pitcher, Matthew Eubanks. Both bullpens empty right now. Prospectors did have action up in their bullpen. We'll see if they make the change. Swing, miss, and the Foxes get a clean run in the top of 2. 2 strikeouts, both of them swinging, plus the ground out to first, and that was quick. Top of 2 is done, As the Foxes lead 9-2, they are on their number 5 spot. Blaze, Elijah Morales, Cade Gavina, Gunnar Heikert coming to the plate.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Can of Whoop. We all want to dominate. We all have those moments when we just can't find that next gear. When you can't find that next gear, try Can of Whoop. Pop the top and pour it on. Can of Whoop. Pop the top and pour it on.
Blaze Morales to the right side batter's box to open up the top of the second frame, or I'm sorry, the bottom of the second frame. Flip that over. It's not the top. Jack Prenny back out there. He gets a high pop-up, foul third base side. Plenty of room. One away, one pitch, one out. That's good for Jack Prenny, who labored through the first. And the leadoff guy last inning, Nuri Todd, worked the count a little bit and then singled down the first baseline. Morales pops up on one pitch. Different sensation to open the bottom of two. Cade Gavina single with an RBI and a run scored in the first inning. Gavina goes first pitch to right. That's going to find a glove. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Gavina line out to right field, and Dalton Berg.
22, Elijah Einen.
Love the free meat stick provided by Stan's Meats. Stan's Meats in the house dropped off a giant bag of snack sticks. Had one dropped off here at the Fox Box. In the bleachers at City Park, Thad Anderson with you on the Front Range Baseball Network. Pitch one is a ball to Gunnar Heikert. As the Prospectors defense saw 13 batters face number 13, Prenny, in the first. Trying to take that one out from his number and just see 3 guys in the bottom of 2. 2-0 count. Fouled down the third base line. Bright sunshine now. Still some clouds floating around. Really no weather threat tonight for those of you who followed along last week. Rain was a large part of it. Probably larger was lightning. Many delays. 2-1 pitch is a hit by pitch. Gunnar Heikert aboard.
Brings up number 22, Elijah Einen.
Elijah Einen, third baseman, batting for the second time out of the number 8 spot in the second inning. Nuri Todd grabs the ball at the backstop, delivers that to Justin Moore behind the plate. And Elijah Einen bats in the second for his second time strike called. That ball sent to right center and down into the gap. Around second flies Gunnar Heikert. He's coming around third. Heikert to the plate will score. RBI double from Elijah Einen.
Now batting number 10, Vinny Engel.
Vincent Engel. Vinny coming to the plate. For the Prospectors, the inning started with such promise. First two guys out on a pop out and a line out on 2 pitches, no less. Hit by pitch and a double produce a run. Heikert scoring on the Einen double, RBI. Engel with 2 down. Chance to plate another Fox. Double digits already, 10-2. Spin and send it to second base. I think that bounced off the helmet, and that went a long way into right field. Ball bobbled in right on the pickup try. Shot to home will be late. And the header from Elijah Einen heads it into right field on the pick move. So it's an error on the pitcher that sends him around from second base. That would make the blooper reels. Prenny spun and threw it. It was a good throw to the bag. The combination middle infield getting there to take the throw really wouldn't have had a chance to get to it as Einen was on the inside of that throw, inside of the defender, and it came off the helmet. And that thing went out into the shadows in right. If you see that on the right side of your screen where the shadows begin, that's not quite halfway, but about halfway between the infield dirt and the warning track. Good thing it hit his helmet. It hit it squarely. Throw had some juice on it. Header for a goal by Elijah Einen. Engel takes that pitch into a 3-1 count. Top of the order waiting. Nori Todd, Owen May. Strike into a full count. Nori, if he gets up in this inning, will bat for the 3rd time here in the 2nd inning total. I'm talking about 3 times in the first 2 innings, and he will on a walk pitch to Vinny Engel. That means Nori Todd is now on his 3rd plate appearance, bottom of 2. Lefty Todd takes. Nori talking to him about the trip to the D2 World Series. Said best part of that was just the extra time. Loves his teammates, getting more time with the guys. Take off on a steal try. In safely at second base. Spinning into his stand-up is the courtesy runner for the catcher. Engel walked. Parker Fagans has stepped on as the runner for Vinny Engel. 1-1 count to Todd. He hits that to left. It's hanging up a little. And the diving try, that short hopped into the glove in left field of catcher Gladish. Great effort by Gladish. Single for Nori Todd. RBI on it as he drives around Fagans from second base. 3rd run of the inning for the Foxes. It is a dozen. (12-2) the tally. 1-1 count. Liner towards short. That's down. Another base hit. Owen May. Smooth, clean single. Trying to take third is Todd. He is out on the throw from left field. Gladish got it in. And Baker made the tag. Why not run him a little bit? Owen May finishes the inning on a single that caps off a 3-run frame, and the Foxes all over the Prospectors, leading by 10 after 2. To the third inning, Hank Smith will be the other side when you get back for the Foxes next time around. Smith, Bertucci, and Morales. First, though, this top of the third, Ethan Riberty's spot. That was taken over by Braden Thompson. We expect Braden Thompson to bat first for the Prospectors in the top of 3, followed by the top of the order, Suarez and Schilling.
All yard baseball.
All yard baseball.
We're gonna go, we'll take our time. We'll hit the road, see what we find. Anticipate and wait. I wanna leave, I wanna go. What could be out there? What will I see? Will I find a secret to me? Then it begins, it's time to go. The journey's now, let's hit the road. The road unwinds, and then I find Longbridge Road means we're almost home. Longbridge Road means we're almost home. Longbridge Road means we're almost home. No matter where I go.
Here's Braden Thompson. Matthew Eubanks to his third inning of work, hit by pitch to Braden Thompson, runner aboard for the Prospectors.
Up to bat, number 23, Riley Suarez.
Pitch is up for Suarez. 1-0 count. That one misses. 2-0 to top of the order, Riley Suarez. Two-0 pitch in, 3-0 count. There's a strike, 3-1. Eubanks pitch missed at the kneecaps of Riley Suarez. Hit by pitch and a walk.
Brings up number 4, Liam Schilling.
Put 2 aboard.
Screw me up, got one of my rules out through there we go. I done bought 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carat in stones.
Liam Schilling struck out his first time up. Suarez now has a ground out and a walk. He's the only guy with 2 plate appearances. Time at the plate. Schilling steps out after time was granted. First pitch of the AB is a big swing and a miss. Schilling shakes his head to the negative. That pitch up and in. Schilling fired at it and missed. Fox's bullpen has action. Similar pitch, working inside, and Schilling again swings and misses. Ryan Vandiver is catching in the bullpen down the first base line. Vandiver, a Fort Collins kid, Pooter High School, Adams State, his collegiate home. And he's catching warm-up pitches from Logan Gutterman. Gutterman had some first base coaching duties, now warming up the arm. Here's an 0-2 pitch. Got him, Eubanks. 3-pitch answer to the hit-by-pitch walk sequence. Fires 3 swing and miss pitches past Schilling.
Now batting number 2, Dalton Berg.
I might be too strung out on compliments, overdosed on confidence. Started not to give a f and stop fearing the consequence. Drinking every night because we...
Dalton Berg, right fielder, left-hand hitter. Maybe if that was a cross-up or not. So, yep, Angle's going to go out. His breaking pitch that looked like it fooled Vinny Angle. Runner at second base, so I don't know if they're trying to mask their signs here and disguise the signs so there's no intercept and relay from second base with Braden Thompson running out there. He is a player coach, so maybe he's got that extra headiness out there. Not accusing Braden of anything untoward or criminal. But always a good idea as a battery to change it up when you've got a guy out there who can look right at the signs of the catcher. 1-0 count is now 1-1. Dalton Berg goes, huh? Didn't think that got the zone. It did. Eubanks, prolonged set, shortstop breaks, runner goes back, Eubanks pitches, this is flared to left, and it's up in the, not in the sun, I don't think. That was a decoy in the left by Cade Gavina. He threw the glove up, tried to slow the runner down, and might have worked to the degree that it didn't let him score. Braden Thompson to third, but no more. Riley Suarez advances to second on the single from Dalton Berg. Fresh count to the cleanup batter. This guy's got a home run. Almost got one on the elbow. Catcher Gladish, left fielder, 2-run jack in the first inning, opposite way. And it was right down the line. The scoreboard here at City Park is tucked just to the left of the right field foul pole. That ball was very liney and gone just at the top of the fence. If he could do it again, here's a swinging wild pitch. That's going to score a run. Prospectors get back on the board to reduce the deficit to at least single digits now. Wild pitch. Braden Thompson scores. He got on by hit by pitch and finishes it on a wild one. Suarez to third. Berg to second. Gladish to a 2-0 count. Good late movement from that Eubanks pitch. Gladish was dialed up to take a healthy hack, and that pitch dove away from him. Again, the lefty Logan Gutterman in the pen. I'd imagine, I got to think that's for next inning. Going to have Eubanks work through here, 1 out in the top of the third. Gladish hits that hard to left center. That ball's going a long way, right toward the light pole and off the light pole. And for the second time today, he had to stop at second as the ball came back to the field. Umpires were going, what did we have there? Last time it either hit the fence or the scoreboard. This one hit the light pole, and Gladish has done it twice. 3-run bomb from catcher. My goodness. He's got 5 RBI on 2 deep balls, 1 to right, 1 to left center. He hit that high off of the light pole in left center. You can see it on your camera shot. It's that one right there in the middle, or just left of middle of your shot above the shortstop. And he hit that. I didn't see exactly where it hit, but that was well over halfway up that pole. He just blasted that jack to left center. Holy cow, let me catch up on the math here. Catcher making numbers happen faster than I can calculate. Now fouled away by Charles Baker. 12-6, Prospectors on the strength of Gladish. He wouldn't say this, but a little bummed about the wild pitch. I am, at least. Braden Thompson scoring just before that. Why not make it a grand slam if you're going to hit it more than halfway up the light pole? Swing and a miss, and that ball's loose, and that's going to be a reached on drop third strike. Charles Baker, the K, drop third on a passed ball, and the Prospectors are in motion here in the top of 3. In the first week of Front Range League play, we saw a lot of runs scored. Over the weekend, saw that taper down a little bit as the weather stopped raining all the time. The runs stopped raining as well over the weekend. A little bit lower scoring games. I thought maybe that's where we were headed from a trending perspective, but not so far here. We got 18 runs on the board in the top of the third. Fouled straight back by Braden Bay. Yeah, 1 out is correct. The scoreboard says 2, but I've got 1. I just heard 1 out called from the third base dugout, and just check the game changer. Ground ball down the third base line. That'll work. Stumbling at second base and holding up, and that would have been the right result anyway. Was being wheeled around by third base coach Jamie Thompson. Probably would have been a stoplight there. That ball's out in front of the runner, Charles Baker. He's got that all in his vision. He had a little stumble around second, but I think when his head came up, he would have seen that Cade Gavina probably would have thrown him out had he gone to third. So a station-to-station single is sufficient. Good swing from Braden Bay. Bay gets his first hit of the game after a strikeout in the second. Kyler Adams, catcher at the plate. If Kyler cuts the lead in half with 1 swing here, I think game's on again. I think game's back on here, but that'd be full game on at that point. Prospectors fighting back to relevance in the top of the third. That got him. Hit by pitch will load the bases. Adams wears one on the inside part of the plate. Second HBP of the inning by Eubanks. And they are full of prospectors for the DH, number 8 batter, Jace Satterfield. And a mound visit coming here, and going to be a pitching change. Head coach Larry McCann. McCann heading out, and he will beckon the lefty from the bullpen. Logan Gutterman heading to the plate or to the mound. Top of the third, 12-6. Foxes have the lead, but Prospectors have scored 4 in the top of 3, and they're looking for more.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. Run! This has been a test of the emergency alert system. In the event of an actual emergency, you're probably cooked. River Morgan presents famous baseball quotes.
Hey, Dad,
Now
League
ask
Baseball
your
is
mom
what I
what
do
you
in the
do
winter when there's no
because it
baseball.
keeps
Just
the
parent
parents
tell
fun
you what I
off
do.
the streets.
I stare out the
Yo,
window.
there's
and
no
wait for spring.
crying in baseball.
Logan Gutterman taking over in the top of 3, 6 runs on the board total and 4 in the inning for the Prospectors, and they've got the bases loaded for Jace Satterfield, 9th batter to come to the plate in the inning. The guy who led this inning off with a hit by pitch and scored on a wild pitch, Braden Thompson, first baseman. He's on deck. Satterfield, lefty pitch, busting hard toward the righty, and Satterfield swung, got a piece of it. Foul tip directly back into the glove of Vinny Engel. Another bending pitch, chopped foul on the third base side. 0-2 count. See a little red and blue reversible Fort Collins Baseball Club jersey and a FCBC hat wandering around the bleachers. Little person, guessing in our pre-K or kindergarten league. There's a ring-up pitch, Satterfield. That ball bent way from the middle of the plate all the way to the right side batter's box. Heavy break on that from Gutterman. Records a backward K in the first batter he faces. 2 away, second AB or second plate appearance of the inning for Braden Thompson. Can he produce here with prospectors everywhere out there? Strike called. Gutterman steps in. He's filling it up from Gilbert, Arizona. Headed to Central Arizona Community College for collegiate ball. Pitch is wide. Angle flags it down. One count. Fouled off the face mask of Vinny Engel. Engel asking for a ball. And plate umpire Justin Moore said, I'm going to deliver this, give you a second. Engel appreciates that, but he was fine off of the foul tip off of his mask from Braden Thompson. Thompson now got to dig in here. Braden from Arvada, Colorado, watches high pitch to a 2-2 count. Engel's throw back. Gutterman makes an athletic leap Runner at third was ready to take off if that was an errant throw. It's Charles Baker at third. Braden Bay at second. Kyler Adams was at first. He's being run for by Rowan Cachel. Cachel courtesy running. Pitch is upstairs. Big swing and a miss. Gutterman gets the job done. 4 runs in the inning for the Prospectors, pushing their way back into contention, down 12-6. Nice work by Logan Gutterman. Back-to-back Ks to leave them loaded for the Prospectors. Another home run for catcher Gladish. 2 ABs, 2 long balls. First inning, 2-run shot. Third inning, 3-run shot. 12-6. Foxes have the lead, and the 3-4-5 batters, Smith, Bertucci, and Morales, heading to the plate.
If you're a real baseball player, that guy's a dude. You gotta have the newest, expensivest bat on the market. Bro. And it's gotta have the coolest name. Bro. Brand new. Just dropped. Tanks. Whatever the newest metals and materials might be, this bat is always one evolution newer. The Batco Crouching Tiger Nuke Mash Pummel Destroy Quad X Quadruple Extreme. Making mediocre hitters superstars. That guy's a dude. $600 at a time. Bro.
Hank Smith opening up the bottom of the third. It's Jack Prenny back out there for another inning of work. Prenny had a good start to the bottom of 2 with the first 2 batters out, pop out, line out, and again, that was on 2 pitches. Then the going got rough. Hit by pitch, double, walk, single, with Nori Todd thrown out at third base, trying to go first to third on Owen May's single, ending the bottom of 2. 3 runs came across to push the lead out to 12-2. That foul tip got a lot of Kyler Adams, and again, Justin Moore, plate umpire, into buy some time mode as Adams crumpled to the ground momentarily. You can see he's back up now, but that one hurt. Athletic trainer on site started to walk out, and then Kyler gave the old, don't bother, don't need to come out here. That one's going to hurt for a minute, but not long-term damage, says Kyler Adams. Two-one pitch. That'll be a 3-1 count. Prenny sailed the breaking ball. Hank Smith, 6'1" lefty in the box. Another of our favored instructors. And down goes Smith. Scoreboard showed 3-1. I don't think he's out. Yep, he's gone. Scoreboard had 3-1 count, but that was apparently not correct. Hank, again, not certain. He would have called that a strike, but not his role tonight. Nick Bertucci, after Prenny picked up his, it was his second strikeout of the appearance. They're making his third K. I thought he had one more than that. Give Jack Prenny 3 Ks on the night. Yeah, he struck out Bertucci to end the first. Now Nick looking at a 2-0 or making a 2-1 count. I think that was Chris Nobenshoe from the third base dugout, the far end of the leaning rail down the line, saying, come on, pitch, encouraging Jack Prenny to finish the third. That pitch was down, missed the zone, 3-1 count. Got Bertucci to chase up. Justin Moore went ahead and appealed that down the line. Sean Grogan, base umpire, rang it. Full count, 1 out. Base is clear. And Nick Bertucci listed at 6'2", Jack Prenny at 6'4". You got 12 and a half feet of dudes out there, and it's going to be a win by the guy on the hill. Prenny, second time he's gotten Bertucci. Bertucci does have a single in his first at-bat, back-to-back Ks, both looking, and it's back-to-back strikeouts looking right here in this inning by Prenny. Got Smith looking, got Bertucci looking. Here's Blaze Morales. Nice spot from Prenny, 0-1 count. Hit the outside part of the plate. Missed there for a 1-1 count. Prenny's 1-1 pitch is lifted over second base, popped up, hanging there, and an easy intake for Braden Bay. There it is, a 3-up, 3-down answer. The 4-run top of the third for the Prospectors, followed by a KK and a pop-out. And the Foxes don't have an answer in the bottom of 3. 12-6. Foxes have the lead. 9-inning scheduled game tonight. 12-6 after 3 from City Park in Fort Collins on the Front Range Baseball Network. Riley Suarez for the Prospectors, top of the 4th. Suarez first pitch launches that deep to right. That'll be foul down the line. Foul ball gets out of play. Game effort by Nick Bertucci, who went flying for it, never gave up on that. That ball landed just outside the corner of the fence where the side fence meets the outfield wall. Bounced down there by the batting cage here at City Park and probably hopped over that and onto the fairway of the first green of City Park 9 golf course. Did not get one of these. Bending pitch fouled away by Suarez. 0-2 the count. Ground ball to short. Suarez watches it deep in the hole, tries to beat this throw. It's a bouncing throw, loose, and that'll give another bag, and that ball bounces through the fence. There's a gap over there. Runner's going to wind up on 2. Riley Suarez, ground ball to the hole at short. Suarez aboard on second to open up the top of the fourth. It was a ranging play to the hole. It's going to have to be an E6 on the throw. He had him if he hits the throw, but that throwaway, and it ended up giving him the extra bag. I guess the official scoring decision, clearly an error on it. Do you give Riley Suarez a single and the extra bag on the error? If you interpret that as a College World Series level or a Major League level play, all error, I'm going to go with single plus the error. Tough ball in the hole. Suarez going to score on this. Well, he retreats back to tag. That ball clearly in the gap. Suarez will still score as it gaps out to the warning track. And Liam Schilling wasting no time in his AB, jumping all over a pitch. And Logan Gutterman, who had a great 2-strikeout relief takeover last half, he faces infield single double. He's given up a run here in the top of 4. Liam Schilling at second base. Nobody away at the top of the order working here for the Prospectors with number 3 batter Dalton Berg. Single and a walk. He's going to hit this hard towards center. Nori Todd heads over, makes the catch, running toward the right center gap. Tagging and moving up to third is Liam Schilling. A line out to center on a firm swing from Dalton Berg. Good read there by Liam Schilling. A lot of guys will get excited about that contact and think about taking off. He went back and tagged. They just appealed to second base. He did tag, timed it properly, and waited until the catch by Nori Todd in center field. So send Schilling over to third. It's 12-7. That's absolutely a worthwhile run. Well worth getting over to third base. Of course, with this guy at the plate, you could be on any base and score the way tonight's gone. 2 times up, 2 out of the yard for catcher Gladish in the number 4 spot in the batting order. Gladish swing and a miss. 0-2 count. Here's the 0-2 with 1 away. Gutterman bends it. That's going to get a run home. Will it get to the ground? And a hang up in left center. Tag up. Schilling double tag on this journey around the bases. And it's a sac fly from catcher Gladish. He has 6 RBI on 3 plate appearances. Fly out to left fielder results in the second out and sends home the 8th run of the game for the Prospectors. Schilling scores. Fouled back to a 1-1 count to Charles Baker. Baker again hacking. Gutterman working quick. 1-2. 4 new baseballs come out of the first base dugout, delivered by Connor Grease, right-handed pitcher from Loveland, Colorado, Loveland High. Indian Hills CC in Iowa. Pitch just missed. Angle liked it from Gutterman, gave him the glove point and the affirmation. Bullpen back at it down the left field line. Here's a swing and a smooth single back through the middle. Charles Baker back-to-back. No, check that. That's not true. I had passed ball. I read it as a 1B or a single on my scorecard. Baker reached on a drop third in the third inning. He's got a single right here in the fourth. First hit of the night for Charles Baker. Gutterman, the lefty, now looking at Baker at first and Bay in the box. down with the first pitch to Braden Bay, 1-0 count. Western Nebraska Pioneers at the El Paso County Baseball Miracles tonight in Colorado Springs. And Chuck Heeman, the owner and governor of the Pioneers, there's a ball into the bat, lifted to center. Todd's going to have to close in a little bit, and he'll make the catch. 3 outs booked on the fly out to center field, but another 2 runs in. The Prospectors pushing themselves back in. They trailed 12-2 a couple frames ago, got it back to 12-8. Now playing defense against the bats of Gavina, Heikert, and Einen, the 6, 7, 8 batters coming next for the Foxes in the bottom of 4.
All Yard Baseball. River Morgan presents famous baseball quotes.
You tell me right now, Jimmy Morris.
Progress.
It's supposed to be hard.
Always
Bob,
involved.
if it wasn't hard,
You
everyone
can't
would
steal
do
second
it.
base
The
and
hard
keep your foot
is what
on
makes
first.
it great. You want to have a catch, Smalls? Front Range League action tonight. Boulder 64s in Greeley playing the Grays. 64s in firm command, leading 16-8 in the middle of the 8th inning. Grays coming to bat. They'll get 2 more shots. They avoided the run rule tonight, 16-8 to the bottom of the 8th. So the Grays will bat in the 8th and the 9th. There's a 10-run rule after 7 in the Front Range League. And the El Paso County Baseball Miracles leading the Western Nebraska Pioneers in the top of the 4th inning. 3-1 the score in Colorado Springs. Strike delivered from Jack Prenny, who's back out again for the 4th frame. Busy week of baseball, so the Prospectors coaching staff need their starter to have a lengthy appearance here. Cade Gavina leading off. Bottom of 4. 12-8, his team ahead. Foxes lead. Gavina fouls it away. Chuck Heeman, the owner and governor of the Pioneers and the president of the new Front Range League, stymied tonight. Apologize on the Front Range Baseball Network. That game struggling to stream through some internet issues at UC Health Park. They were going to work on resolving that for tomorrow and the following night. Next 2 nights, also that same matchup, Pioneers at Miracles in Colorado Springs. So if you're over here trying to sort through and figure out how to find that Western Nebraska Pioneers and El Paso County Baseball Miracles game, that one got clunked on a streaming issue. KNEB radio station in Gering and Scottsbluff, Nebraska. KNEB. If you can find that online and find a stream, there's a radio call of that game. Down to first it goes, and that will be Gavina out at 1. Sean Grogan on the ring up, and Gavina no objection. That was a bang-bang play. Braden Thompson took the throw from Braden Bay.
Up to bat number 2.
1 out. That is 4 batters in a row retired by Jack Prenny. 4 batters in a row. The 5th one ago was a single from Owen May and a throw out at third of Nori Todd to end the 2nd inning. 3rd inning, 3 up, 3 down for Prenny, and opens the 4th with a ground out. Prospectors would love to throw a 0 here. This popped, and it's going to get foul over the Foxes' first base dugout. Again, as I've documented, $1 available on every foul ball here at City Park. If a kid returns that ball, or anybody really, I guess you don't have to be a kid if you just want to come down here and start a career, second or third career, maybe a retired person looking to supplement the income. Every foul ball returned back to the merch area is $1, and there are a lot of them. You know, these baseballs, they're anywhere from, depending who you get them from, $5, $6, $8 a ball. So the $1 is fair exchange for a used ball return swing and an empty hack from Gunnar Heichert. Good pitch from Prenny. It's a 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 away, nobody aboard. Prenny bends it, and Heichert stays on it, fouls it away. Gunner from Grand Forks, North Dakota, Central Arizona CC. Another 2-2, reaches down and barrels that to right. Little adjustment in right, and the catch made by Dalton Berg. Berg closed on it well to the gap. Line out, 2 away.
22, Elijah Einen.
Elijah Einen 2 for 2 on the night. Single in the first, double in the second. He has 3 RBI and 2 runs scored. Out of the number 8 spot for the Foxes. I was talking about this earlier. Foxes getting a few guys who had extended seasons or little delays getting to Fort Collins, but their lineup rounding into shape. And again, I talked about Phoenix West not here tonight. Left-handed stick who's been good. This ball is blasted to center toward the batter's eye at the track against the wall. Can't make the catch. Ball is down. Out in center field, that deep ball right up against the 378 sign of the tall wall, the hitter's eye out there. Riley Suarez got to it, got a glove to it, and it popped out, fell on the track. And Einen keeps the inning alive. Well, not that I'm officially official, and the game changer is kept by someone who's only partially official as it rotates around in the dugout down there, but we'll go double. Suarez would tell you should have been an out. Now a ground ball, can Angle cash it in? Nope. Prenny, nice work to get through that. Strands that 2-out second base runner, and Angle is a ground out to second base, second time in the inning. Ground ball went that way. And it is a clean frame as far as runs are considered. And the Foxes have put up back-to-back zeros after allowing 12 in the first 2 innings. We'll go to the 5th, 9-inning game tonight. Prospectors looking to get back to work at the plate. They'll go 7, 8, and 9 in the order: Adams, Satterfield, and Thompson.
All yard baseball.
It's Kyler Adams at the plate. Top of the 5th. Warm day. That's a ball in the dirt to open the count. Warm day in Fort Collins. Lights have just popped on here at City Park. You can see that. 4 light stands. You can see 3 of those in your home plate camera shot. One more to the right side over there down the foul line, right by the foul pole and right. Lights starting their work for the night. Got up into the upper 80s today in Fort Collins after a cool stretch and a way more rain than is typical for here. And now all of a sudden it jumps to the high 80s. I feel like a farmer complaining it's too rainy, it's too hot. Can't ever quite get the exact right weather. We wanted a stretch of 78 and partly cloudy for about 2 weeks. Jam shot. Adams trying to beat this out to second base. Won't get there in time. Owen May on the pickup.
Now batting number 37.
Hank Smith on the catch. 1 away. Jace Satterfield. That game in Colorado Springs, El Paso County Baseball Miracles started off trying to find their way a little bit and played the Boulder 64s very well. The 64s to this point have been the class of the Front Range League, starting off 7-1, 7 wins in their first 8 games. Miracles leading the Western Nebraska Pioneers 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th in Colorado Springs at UC Health Park. Told you about the score in Greeley with the Grays batting at that point in the bottom of the 8th. They were down 16-8. Now gone to the top of the 9th at 16-9. 64s gave up 1 run in the 8th, but still lead by 7, and we'll try to close out the Grays in the bottom of that frame. Swing and a miss for Satterfield in a 2-1 count. 64s looking to win their 8th game in 9 tries. Well on their way in Greeley. And our other game right here in front of you. 3 games on the slate tonight in Front Range League play. Pitch just missed on the outer edge. That'll go full on the count. Slapped foul by Satterfield. Stay in a 3-2 count. Satterfield on the 3-2 sends it to center. That'll hang up in the air for Nori Todd. Satterfield's flyout is 2 away. And Braden Thompson trying to keep the inning alive out of the number 9 spot in the order for the Prospectors. At KeyBank, your goals, KeyBank's priority. From everyday banking to big life moments, KeyBank is here with smart solutions and personal support. Visit one of 3 Fort Collins or Loveland locations. KeyBank, the exclusive streaming partner of the Foxes on the Front Range Baseball Network, thanks to KeyBank. You see their key at the bottom right of your screen, floating above the score bug that says 12-8 home team. Foxes in the lead. This is the number 9 spot where Ethan Riberty was slated to start. He had a glove issue in the first inning, and then he had a finger issue on a ball that ate him up. Took a chunk out of his hand, and he had to come off. Braden Thompson took over. Thompson was hit by pitch in the 3rd and also struck out in the 3rd, batted twice in that 4-run frame. Top of the 3rd for the Prospectors, now batting in the top of the 5th with 2 away. And on a 3-1 count, he'll send that to left, and that ball will find the grass. 2-out single for Braden Thompson. His dad on staff at Arvada West High, where Braden went to school. And his pops on the coaching staff here, Jamie Thompson, well acquainted with Diamond Club head coach Brad Mulvaney of the Front Range League. Thompson's having some fun here. Jamie Thompson coaching, Braden performing well in his sub-in appearance tonight against the Foxes. Now top of the order, Riley Suarez. Skies are not as foreboding as they look in that camera shot. One count. Suarez has one hit in the game. This is his fourth plate appearance. 3 ABs if this one becomes an AB. Walked in the third. He had a ground out in the first and a single in the fourth, with an E6 tagged onto it that took him to second base. He scored in the fourth, as did the on-deck guy Liam Schilling. Swing and a miss for a 2-2 count with 2 down. Two pitch. Suarez stays alive, fouls it away. Some credit to Jack Prenny, who has worked through 4 innings on the hill for the Prospectors. He's thrown 84 pitches through 4. Heavy lift tonight. That pitch inside on Suarez will get loose, and down to second to scoring position goes Braden Thompson. On the wild one, got in close to Suarez and a little too wide for Angle, the catcher, to make the play. And a scoring opportunity here for the leadoff batter. See if he can punch home Braden Thompson. Full count, 2 down. Good take, down. Gutterman just missed there. Logan Gutterman on the hill. A walk to Suarez. Starter Matthew Eubanks went 2 1/3 tonight for the Foxes. 4 hits, 6 runs, all earned. Eubanks, it was a 2 1/3 appearance, so 7 total outs. 5 of those were strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 hit by pitch from Eubanks. He threw 60 pitches, 36 strikes, 24 balls. Now Gutterman, that's his 33rd pitch of the game. He missed there for a 1-0 count. Number 2 batter Liam Schilling, who doubled last inning. Knocked in the guy who's at first base now, Suarez. 12-8. Can the Prospectors close the gap a little more here in the 5th? Reaching swing, fouled it away. One pitch. 1-2 count. Here's the 1-2, falling on the delivery, well, keeping his feet, but slipping and having to catch himself with his throwing arm after the release was Gutterman. Lost his footing, resulting in a 2-2 count. Spins one there that'll end the top of 5. No runs scored by the Prospectors. That's the first time in 3 frames that they did not tally. The backward K caps off the top of 5. Score stays 12-8 to the bottom of the 5th, and the Foxes go back to the top of the order. Nori Todd, Owen May, Hank Smith coming to the plate.
That strike brought to you by Local Union 247365. We like strikes. All yard baseball. Hey, it's Max Alpha, head coach, manager, governor, executive, chief of Elite Prospects Gold Platinum Elite. in my 5-ton pickup truck that I bought at Cartropolis. One of my 4 vehicles. One of only 6 total vehicles in the village of Sugar Lake. Elite Prospects Gold Platinum Elite tryouts are coming up. Be there if you want to be elite. We only take people who are better than everybody else. If you want to be the best, be at tryouts. Elite Prospects Gold Platinum Elite. Do not look at our record on Game Changer. We're the elitist. We will cover airfare for anybody across the globe who believes they're better than anybody else. We'll pay for you to be at our tryout. Don't miss it. Elite Prospects Gold Platinum Elite. We're just better than you.
Bottom of the 5th, top of the order, Nori Todd for the Foxes shows bunt and takes strike 1. Boulder 64s scored 6 runs in the first inning tonight in Greeley. Gave up a 7-run frame later to the Grays. Nori Todd's going to single cleanly. And he's going to go for 2 using the speed, and there's plenty.
Todd slides in for the double.
We're going to go to a double on that.
That'll bring up number 34, Owen.
Slow cycle of the ball into the infield, and that's the game of Nori Todd. Some electricity. Table setter has set the table. Owen May has swung it. Double and a single in the game. But hasn't batted since the second inning. Feels a little surprising. The way the order was rolling there. May was the final out of the second inning. He singled, and Todd was thrown out at third, trying to go first to third. And then 7 batters came to the plate between the third and fourth innings. So here's May again now in the 5th. Good pitch, outer edge. Pitching change is here for the Prospectors after Prenny went 4. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Checked the swing and fouled it straight down. One, 2. Todd took an extra vault toward third base, got a going call from Braden Bay, who then canceled himself. Now they're laughing about it at second base. Nori got him. Chris Nobbenshoe keeping the intensity up, calling for some juice from his battery here on a 2-2 pitch. Todd, he will take off on this pitch. That is popped foul. Out of play. Here comes a 2-2 with nobody out. That's a strikeout pitch. Beautiful. On the outer half, down looking is Owen May.
Hank Smith.
Hank Smith with one away. First pitch is a strike. Again, working away now from the lefty, 0-1. Ball to center is shallow. Going to have to decoy that. Now going to try to throw out Todd at third base. Todd, a spinning slide, contorting himself safely at third, and it's a base hit. Hank Smith drops one into center that did not become a fielder's choice. Center fielder Riley Suarez closing on that shallow ball, threw the glove up in the air. Todd had to wait and see if he was really going to catch it. Perfect throw had him, but it's hard to do when you're on the run picking up a bouncing ball and you got the speed of Nori Todd to deal with. It's first and third now for the Foxes, trying to add on to this 12-8 lead. Big swing underneath that was Bertucci. Bertucci, another healthy hack, 0-2. Bullpen stirring for the Foxes. Drew DeVries, righty from Omaha. Here goes the runner from first, and they're going to let him take second. Hank Smith makes it second and third for the Foxes. Nathan Alcoof, and I'll fess up, I was efforting to find jersey 14. He's listed as number 10 on the roster. He's got 14 on his back tonight. Didn't want to misidentify Nathan, but did want to make sure I did identify him, and it's Nathan Alcoof from Erie, Colorado, and Erie High. Missed wide. Nice athletic stop behind the plate from Kyler Adams. Got a car alarm going off somewhere around City Park. Alcoof steps off and asks for a recycle of the signs on a 3-2 pitch. Big one here. 3-2 with one away. Here it comes. Tried to bend it into the zone and missed just high. Nick Bertucci verifying that was ball 4. I don't think he was questioning if it was a ball or strike. I think he was making sure it was the fourth pitch called a ball, making sure he didn't have the count wrong. That'll load him. Elijah Morales, 0 for 3, line out and a couple pop-outs. Can do some damage here and reestablish the command for the Foxes at 12-8 in the fifth, bottom of 5. First pitch hits that toward the hole at short. Glove there, try to turn it, can't get there in time. That'll be an RBI fielder's choice. Bertucci out at second. Legging it out is Morales with an RBI fielder's choice. Nori Todd scoring, and Hank Smith over to third base. First run for the Foxes since the second inning. They had 9 in the first, 3 more in the second. Goose egg, and now one here. Tough ball, got to the other side of second base. Throw, got him. Run would have scored had that play not been executed. Nicely handled in the middle of the diamond. Second baseman for the Prospectors, Braden Bay, had to cross over the midline toward the shortstop side and then planted a foot and made a great throw. Gavina, back-to-back 4-3 groundouts, one in the fourth, one ending the fifth. One run for the Foxes in the bottom of five, top of the sixth, 9-inning game. Prospectors still chasing 3, 4, 5 batters. Berg, Gladish, who has 2 home runs in the game, and Baker.
Warm up earlier, having his ice cream of his own, so we'll see if your belly has room for this one.
River Morgan presents famous baseball quotes.
Hey, Dad,
Legal
ask
is
you
not
what
what
I
I
do
do
when there's no baseball.
keeps the parrot
I'll tell you what I
off
do.
the streets.
I stare out the
Yo,
window.
there's
There's
no
no
wait for
crying in baseball. Top of the sixth inning. Got my Prospectors and Foxes flip-flop there. Prospectors, top of the sixth. So by design, they have 4 more rounds of batting. Run rule of 10 after 7 if the Foxes would make a surge here. But Prospectors still some time to work here with 12 more outs available. Strike on a swing, start, and stop from Berg. Twitch the elbows, let it go. 1-1 the count as that pitch hit the zone. Gutterman now down on this one. For those of you complaining about the darkness of the camera shot, I completely agree. Playing around with that, but camera mounted out on the backstop on the field side. I'm up high behind that. I got no backup here, no video technician to go play with that. I'll do a little bit of flipping around here on an app, but I have a feeling until the lights fully take over, we might be looking at that until we get a little different light conditions here at Twilight in Fort Collins. Strikeout pitch, backward variety, looking for Berg, and 1 out. Catcher Gladish. All he's done in this game is drive in runs. He'd have to hit one over the fence to do that with nobody aboard, but he's done that twice already tonight. His other plate appearance, a sac fly to left field. It scored the most recent run to score for the Prospectors. Their 8th run was driven in on that sac. 6 of the runs of those 8 have come from the bat of catcher Gladish. Home run, 2-run shot in the first, 3-run shot in the third. The sac fly in the 4th. Batting with 1 out in the 6th, 2-1 count. Strike called, and the count runs full for Gladish. Hammers that foul down the third base line. Yeah, if you get over the annoyance of it, it's actually pretty hilarious. The almost looks like ghosts playing baseball right now on that darkened camera shot. Got the Mevo brand camera mounted up on the backstop. Strikeout pitch. Down goes Gladish, swinging back-to-back Ks. Open up the sixth for Logan Gutterman.
Number 28, Charles Baker.
I ain't never ran from a no, I ain't no. If I did, cut my legs out right now. I ain't never been with the talk, snitch talk.
Open up with a strike to Charles Baker. One count. One-two count. Swing and nothing for Baker on that hack. Braden Bay on deck. Kyler Adams behind him. 1-2 pitch is yanked by the lefty across the plate and right across the belt line. Charles Baker missed him for a 2-2. Fouled off the mask of Vinny Angle. This time intercepts plate umpire Justin Moore, who did that before, took the ball out for him, bought him some time after the foul off the face of the catcher, and Angle's good to go, 2-2. Clean strike out of the side, 3 up and 3 down. Gutterman dominates the 3, 4, 5 batters in the Prospectors order. Momentum change, perhaps, momentum grab for the Foxes as the top of the sixth closes with a 13-8 score. Foxes lead by 5. They'll be on their 7-8-9. Heikert, Einen, and Angle.
The Palace of Pong, the place for paddles. Ping Pong Palace, where ping pong players play ping pong and people populate pre- and post-perfect performances at the ball yard. Ping Pong Palace, positioned perfectly for our population, perpendicular to the pit, plus pleasant proximity to our pristine pond. Please, pop in for Pong. Purchase pop, popcorn, pizza, pastries. Take it from me! Ping Pong Winchester. The place for Pong is Ping Pong Palace. Ping Pong Palace, positioned perfectly for our population, perpendicular to the pit, plus pleasant proximity to our pristine pond. Please, pop in for Pong.
Bottom of 6 for the Foxes, and Gunnar Heikert takes the first AB of the inning. Nathan Alcoof continues on the mound for the Prospectors. Well, the decision from the executive committee of the Front Range Baseball Network, wait, there's not one of those. Going to leave the stream. Consider just switching out to a logo on your screen. Alcoof's pitch fires that wide, 2-0 count to the leadoff batter. In the bottom of 6, Gunnar Heikert. darkness is not set here at City Park. Still a decent amount of light, but clearly messing with the intake. This ball is blasted to left, and that thing is to the flagpole. Jumping catch at the yellow rail of the wall in left is made. And a tip of the cap out by second base from the batter, Gunnar Heikert. He got the two, took his helmet off, and tipped it to the left fielder. Catcher Gladish leaping at the fence. I think he took it away. I don't know if that would have hit the top yellow and bounced back in. I'm going to say that was gone. Gladish goes vertical. He's listed at 5 feet 8 inches. Smile on the face of his pitcher, Nathan Alcoof, who knows he just dodged one. Hiker blasted that ball to left, and a leaping Rob at the top of the fence in left. What a play. Yeah, go ahead. Look at that replay again. Go ahead. Oh, it's all black. Yeah, no, sorry. Apologies on that. The executive committee that doesn't exist, decision to leave the screen up, hoping maybe as darkness fully gets going here, that the camera will receive a different light feed from the ballpark lights. Have not had this one happen before with the near total eclipse of the home plate camera. The Mevo cameras are wonderful. Tried to pop into the app and see if I could change some light iris controls, but that not happening. So you got your score up there. Got a 1-2 count now to the batter, Elijah Einen. He's got a 1-2. Einen watches a pitch out for a 2-2 mark. Nathan Alcoof steps off the back and climbs back on the hill. Nobody aboard, 1 out, 2-2 pitch. Oof. That got him. Einen drilled in the back. Well, Elijah Einen earlier in the game had one off of his helmet. That was a pick move to second base, and it hit him squarely in the helmet, shot into right field, and Einen scored from second on that error. Now he sees another ball flying at him, and that one hit him in the back. Hit by pitch with 1 away. Strike called. Vinny Engel at the plate, 0-1 count. Nathan Alcoof's 0-1 offering with 1 away. Einen takes his secondary lead. Ball delivered. See the ghost-like image of Vinny Engel in the batter's box. He'll watch a strike, 1-2. Alcoof steps off, looks over to first base, didn't throw it. Engel steps out. Air quality has changed brilliantly here tonight. Cool air now after the near 90-degree temperature today. Here's the pitch. Engel lobs that to first. Step on 1. Tag needed at 2. Got it. 3-6 double play. Nicely handled by Braden Thompson at first base, and shoots it out to Liam Schilling for the step on 1, tag at 2. And that'll end the bottom of 6. Engel on a double play ball. Caps off the 6th frame. 3-6 on the DP. We go to the 7th inning of a 9-inning ball game with the Prospectors hanging in there after getting into a deep hole, trailing the Foxes 12-2. They've battled along to a 13-8 count through 2 trimesters of this game. 7th inning comes up next. It'll be Braden Bay, Kyler Adams, Jay Satterfield, 6, 7, and 8 in the order for NoCo Prospectors, working from 5 runs behind at City Park in Fort Collins. Braden Bay leading off the top of the 7th inning. Bay, the second baseman, not involved in the double play. Watching the action on both sides of him with shortstop Liam Schilling taking that throw. Nice play from Braden Thompson. We've seen some defense offered up by the NoCo Prospectors to stay within 5 runs. Strike delivered. It's a 1-1 count to Bay. Catcher Gladish in left field leapt at the left field fence right in front of the flagpole and took away a home run from Gunnar Heikert to open the inning. And then Braden Thompson with a well-handled chopping ball at first base that he absorbed. A couple steps to the bag at first, spun and fired a good throw. A little high, but handleable for Liam Schilling. Pitch is wide of the zone. It's a 2-2 count now for Braden Bay. Pitching change has been made for the Foxes. Drew DeVries missed up and in. DeVries, number 26 on the hill. 6'3" righty, plays at Dordt University. That's D-O-R-D-T, by the way, if you're not familiar with Dordt in Iowa. He's out of Omaha, Nebraska, is Drew DeVries. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Wow, wild one over the head of Bay. It's loose to the backstop. Bay is going to take a walk. And no chance to advance as Vinny Engel jogs back to pick it up.
Now batting number 21, Kyler Adams.
Kyler Adams, catcher for the Prospectors. Occupies the right side batter's box. First pitch is good heat. Swing through and a miss for Adams. Strike one. Swing and a miss, and 2 strikes now. Coach Chris Nobby calls out, shorten up, put it in play with an 0-2 count, runner at first base. Kyler Adams, hands at the ready, and good movement of pitches, good location changes. Adams looked at it for strike 3. Down and away on that pitch after the walk to Bay. DeVries. Strong answer as he worked multiple pieces of the zone to earn that strikeout. Pitch 1 is strike 1 to Jay Satterfield. Fastball right through the middle. Oh, 0-1 pitch from DeVries. Quick slide step delivery. Snap throw down to first is not in time. Bay foot first slide back to the bag on a high ball delivered. 1-1. Ball popped over second base. That'll get down. Bay's going to go first to third on it. Nope, he's going to hold up. Pulls up and stays at second. Came around with a full head of steam on the single by Jay Satterfield. 2 aboard, 1 away for the Prospectors in the top 7. Now on the number 9 spot in the order, Braden Thompson. He swings and misses. Strike 1 to open the count. Thompson just saw the defense on the 3-6 DP and has done some nice things at the plate. Single hit by pitch. He swung at strike one. He checks his swing, going to appeal to the middle of the diamond. No swing is the indication from Sean Grogan. I've worked with Sean for about 25 years. I think he's sending the old don't appeal out to the C slot. I'm in the middle of the infield. I can't tell if he swung, but he definitely didn't see enough to call that an offer. Now a delivered strike makes it a 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes to number 9 batter, Braden Thompson. Fouls that away, just got a piece of it to stay alive at a 1-2 count. Bullpen for the Foxes is in motion. It looks like Connor Kearns now after that foul off Vinny Engel trying to clear out an eyeball. I think he got some deflected dirt up into the eyes. Justin Moore, plate umpire, cleans the plate and buys him some time. Braden Thompson, 1-2, 1 away, down by 5. 2 aboard. Bouncing pitch will get loose. Wild pitch. Engel tried to block that. That was a rodeo attempt, and that thing was just too hot. Skipped way out in front of the plate. Runners move along to second and third for the Prospectors. It's a 2-2 count with 1 out. DeVries pitch on the 2-2. Infield is in. Another bouncing pitch. That'll score a run. Back-to-back wild pitches with the infield pinched in. Braden Bay comes across. Behind him, Jace Satterfield moves along to third base. 13-9 the count on a pair of wild pitches. And a full count now to the number 9 spot, Braden Thompson. Three-two. DeVries comes set. Low leg lift, high fastball got him as Thompson chased upstairs on what would have been ball 4. That's the second strikeout of the inning for Drew DeVries. A walk and a single and a couple wild pitches have resulted in a run, and Satterfield at third base could get him back within 3. And they got the right part of the order now from a strategic deployment perspective. Top of the order here, Sticks coming at you with Riley Suarez going first pitch, swing and a miss, 0-1. Indicates breaking ball with the hand roll back to the third base dugout to his teammates. 2 down. Runner at 3, outside on the second offering, 1-1 pitch. DeVries to the plate. Suarez chops it. That'll get fouled down the third baseline. Suarez on a 1-2 fouls it back. It's a 1-2 count, 2 away, 4-run lead for the Foxes, trying to leave Satterfield at third base. Pitch missed. Good take by Suarez. That pitch up and on the inside part of the plate, just missed, and Suarez just did a little chin flinch at the very end of that angle. Glove pop received by the catcher just off the zone. It's a 2-2 count. Here comes DeVries again from the mound. Pitch, high again, full count. Liam Schilling on deck. Schilling 1 for 4 in the game. He has 3 strikeouts, but an RBI double in the 4th and a run scored. Involved in 2 of these 9 runs for the Prospectors. 3-2 count, 2 away. DeVries sets, pauses, breathes, lifts, fires. Missed it. Ball 4. Riley Suarez, the leadoff batter, earns 90 feet. Liam Schilling. See if Suarez takes a shot at second base here on a 1st and 3rd situation. Riley at first base. Not going here. This ball to right. That's going to sail directly to the glove in right field of Nick Bertucci. Good first pitch hack by Schilling. Lined out to right. That'll end the top of 7. Little threat there. 1 run did come across for the Prospectors. They've got it back to 13-9 now as they chip away. Got to hold the Foxes here in the bottom of 7 of a 9-inning ball game. Top of the order again. Here comes Nori Todd, Owen May, Hank Smith on the other side. Nori Todd, top of the order for the Fort Collins Foxes. Front Range League baseball action. And again, acknowledging the camera darkness. Same camera had it out here a couple nights ago. Image was fine after dark. That is not happening tonight. The technological struggle is real, but game action into the bottom of the 7th inning now. Missed wide. Got a 3-ball count quickly against Nori Todd. Starting off the 7th frame. Bottom half for the home team Foxes and a ball 4 pitch. So you don't want to put that guy on. He's been dynamic on the bases all night long, and he's back aboard with a walk to lead off the 7th inning for the Foxes. Not that I think it's about to happen, but with the top of the order, getting a guy aboard 6 runs here would end it on a run rule. Chris Nobbenshoe, manager for the Prospectors, is coming out to talk to Nathan Alcoof. Alcoof in relief tonight. Mound visit completed with with one aboard and nobody out. New count here for Owen May. Number 2 batter in the order, second baseman May. Back toward the middle. That'll get through. Past Braden Bay. Softly bouncing into center field. Todd, big turn, and Norrie will hold up at second base on a shallow center field single. Punched through the infield by Owen May. May's third hit of the night. 2 singles and a double. Enjoyed talking to Owen before the game tonight. He said he drove here from Bakersfield, CA to Fort Collins for his summer collegiate league play. Here's the first pitch to Hank Smith for the Foxes, number 3 batter up. Alcoof wide on that. Bullpens both active right now, both sides of the field. Down the left field line for the Prospectors, right field side for the Foxes. Activity out there. First and second with nobody out. In the heart of the order here, Smith in the 3 spot. Got the inner edge. Nice pitch from Alcoof. Evens the count at 1-1. Owen May at first base said he made the drive through Vegas, Utah, in his brother's car. Here comes the 1-1. And got an inside move back towards second. Didn't make the throw. Alcoof took a look at Todd at second base, dancing around back there. His brother, I think he said 16, then he said 17. I think he added a birthday on, Owen May, for his bro. And he took his bro's car for the summer, man. Because I asked him, is it reliable? And so I don't know. He didn't tell me for sure. I don't know if the reason he took it was his brother's car is less of a beater than his own car, but he's got wheels here in Fort Collins for the summer. Made the pretty drive. 2-1 count is a missed pitch for a 3-1 count. 3-1. In the driver's seat here is Hank Smith. Third batter of the frame. First batter, Todd, on with a walk. May with a single. Alcoof's pitch. Smith fires at it, chops it to the right side. That'll bounce into the glove of Braden Bay. He'll take the out at first base. Runners move along. Norrie Todd to third. Owen made a second. Ground out for Hank Smith. And Nick Bertucci, cleanup batter, strides into the right side box. Bertucci, 1 hit back in his first at bat. Strikeout, walk after that. He's 1 for 3 in the game. Bertucci takes just up at his front elbow level. Got the big protective guard on that front side elbow. Now missing down and away, 2-0 count. Infield is in. Corners are in the cutout, standing on the dirt. They're not all the way up to the grass. The middle infielder's right on the edge of the grass for a 2-0 pitch to Bertucci here. Alcoof missed there. First base is open. So far, nothing even close to good for Bertucci to consider. Nice work by Kyler Adams behind the plate. Smother that pitch down, finding dirt on its way past the plate. 3 balls, no strikes, and clearly not a time to leave something fat. Oof, didn't quite graze the elbow. He buzzed the elbow again of Bertucci on the right side batter's box. That'll load the bases with ball 4.
Up to bat, number 29, Eli Morales.
Celebrity sighting tonight. Sam Eliason in the crowd. He calls play-by-play for us on some of these streams from City Park. Sam down there being a fan tonight. Thanks to Sam for jumping in on some play-by-play contributions here on the first year of the Front Range Baseball Network. Pitch 1 is ball 1 to Elijah Morales. Blaze now batting. Middle name Blaze, he told me. You can call me Blaze. I said, do you prefer Elijah or Eli? He said Elijah, but you can also call me Blaze, which is pretty cool. I like the name Elijah, too, so he's got all kinds of options, does Morales. 1-0 pitch from Alcoof. Oh, again, on the righty, just up under the elbows. Alcoof missing to that spot. I think 3 of the last 5 balls he's thrown have been high and tight. Across the shoulder level of the right side batters, Alcoof now asks for time from his catcher, and Adams jogs out to talk. Dream big, save smart at KeyBank. Turn your goals into action. Tools, guidance, and a team that's always in your corner. Visit one of 3 Fort Collins or Loveland locations. KeyBank. And a reminder to visit FrontRangeLeague.com for schedule, standing, stats, and more. FrontRangeLeague.com, summer 2025, the inaugural season of the Front Range League Collegiate Baseball Group. Summer wood bat baseball played along the Front Range of the Rocky Mountains. In Colorado and Nebraska, FrontRangeLeague.com, schedule, standing, stats, and more. FrontRangeLeague.com. Alcoof back on the hill, and nothing improved after that conversation. He missed that same spot again, burning it right across the shoulders of Blaze Morales. Cade Gavina waiting on deck. Bases full, 3-0 count. Alcoof to the plate. Got it right down the middle, and Morales' absolute take there. Not even considering an offer on that pitch. Here's the 3-1 as Alcoof looks in for his sign. Wind picks up here a little bit. Hasn't been blowing tonight. Now we're getting some breeze. 3-1 pitch. Grounded towards second. Bay flipped to 2 as a slow ground ball. And they got him. Double play will keep the Foxes off the board. That was a tough turn. Morales runs well, but the 4-6-3 just in time. Braden Bay charging at second base, knowing it was urgent, made a scramble flip to shortstop. Schilling made the turn. The DP leaves him from a loaded position with 1 out to nothing on the board. And the Prospectors stay within 4 as we go to the top of the 8th. And it's back to the 3, 4, and 5 batters. These guys came to the plate in the 6th inning, and they went down, all 3 of them, on strikeouts. Try again with Berg, Gladish, and Baker in the top of the 8th, with the Prospectors trailing by 4.
Stan's Specialty Meats brings premium quality and hometown flavor to every table. Visit StanSPecialtyMeats.com to learn more.
River Morgan presents famous baseball quotes.
Hey, Dad,
Legally
ask
baseball
not
is
what
what
I
I
do
do
when there's no
because it
baseball.
keeps us
The parents
have
tell
fun
you what I
off
do.
the streets.
I stare out the
Yo,
window.
there's
and
no
wait for
crying
spring.
in baseball.
Sports fans, broadcast announcing is evolving. Play-by-play is now play-by-play. Who needs bothersome people who have their own opinions, rooting interests, and skin in the game? Play-by-play, the next frontier in sports announcing.
Dalton Berg, the left-handed batter, steps in to start the top of the 8th inning with a pitching change for the Foxes. Lefty on lefty. Berg fooled on that, checks his swing, and was way out in front of a sweeping pitch to open the appearance for Connor Kearns from Murrieta, California, Antelope Valley CC in CA. Pitch 1 is strike 1 on a check swing offer from Dalton Berg, and he does it again. This time holds up to a 1-1 count. Checked it enough that time. Eighth inning is underway from City Park in Fort Collins. Down with the pitch, 2-1. So everything thrown, and that ball again down low, and Vinny Engel, the catcher, that ball's in the dirt, and that one got him.
That cup shot is brought to you by Down Under Armour. Protecting the jewels for over 45 years. Down Under Armour is manufactured using military-grade metals and impact tested at shooting ranges, bowling alleys, and martial arts studios. That cup shot brought to you by Down Under Armour.
1-2 pitch now from Connor Kearns. I'm sorry, 2-1. The scoreboard's wrong. I looked at the scoreboard, and that is not correct. Swing and a miss there, 2-2 count. Vinny Engel is, I'll say okay. It's easy for me to say. Bouncing pitch got in on him. It's a 2-2 count, nobody out. Leadoff batter of the top of the 8th. Berg's pitch take is successful for a ball. Berg again started to fire the hands, and Kearns really sweeping that pitch. The lefty from the first base side of the plate to the third base side. Berg, great job laying off. He's got a full count here. Can he get aboard to start something here in the top of the 8th, down by 4? 3-2 pitch. Kearns lifts, fires, and was way high and in. So most everything had been down in that count, and then Kearns lifted one, tried to go elevated, but just too much. And it's a leadoff walk to Berg. Catcher Gladish, have I mentioned? He's got 2 home runs tonight. I have. He's got 6 RBI. I've mentioned that too. Strikeout his last time up. That was in the 6th inning. Part of a strikeout of the side in that frame by Logan Gutterman. Strike 1 is across, looking to open this AB for Gladish. Kearns comes set. Does a multiple leg stamp with the front foot. Sends that down and away, swing and a miss, 0-2. Boulder 64s get the win tonight in Greeley. 16-9 the final. 16-9 64s win over the Grays of Greeley. 0-2 pitch coming with a runner at first base. Very small lead for Berg. This ball chopped toward second, could be 2. Picked up on a final short hop and safe at 1. Had to wait for one more hop out of that ball at second base to Owen May, and that was just enough for Gladish to beat that down the line. Fielder's choice ground ball, 1 out. Second base to shortstop. Gunnar Heikert covering the bag. 1 out up now, and still a runner at first for Charles Baker. Pitch 1. Baker swings, fouls it away. Right-handed batter fouled that to the first base side, high backstop, top panel. Kearns looking over at first base at Gladish. Now to the plate. Got the outer edge. Tough pitch. 0-2 count. Kearns comes set. Plate pitch delivered, and a ball had just rolled on. I think it came bouncing out of the bullpen, rolled into fair territory, but the pitch delivered was a foul off. Count stays at 0-2. Kearns fires, missed it for a 1-2 count, high and out to the righty. Another 1-2 pitch. Kearns, long pause, and a high breaking ball, swing through and a strikeout. Left it elevated for Baker, who swung and missed. Strikeout is 2 away. Braden Bay talking with Charles Baker on his way to the plate. Baker trying to share some lessons learned from the AB. Bay walked in the 7th and scored. That's the most recent run tallied by the Prospectors to get back within 4. He's 1 for 3 on the night, single back in the 3rd. Pitch 1 is late on the swing. 0-1 count. Kearns had the leadoff walk to Dalton Berg. Berg had to fight for that walk. Then a fielder's choice ground ball to second and a strikeout, and now quickly an 0-2 count on another called strike outer edge to Bay. Kyler Adams on deck with, he's got one shin guard on the catcher. He's got his ankle guard, front leg ankle guard for hitting, and one shin guard on the back leg. With 2 outs, the catcher waits on deck. Pitch is high. 1-2 count. Here comes Kearns again on 1-2. Busted that inside. Started on the plate, finished inside Bay, picking up the spin well or the release well. Got himself back to a 2-2 count by laying off that pitch. Two count, 2 away. Runner hasn't made an effort to go to second base and will not move anywhere on this foul off by Bay at the plate.
That foul brought to you by Chester's Chicken Farm, feeding fowl to the folks of Sugar Lake.
2-2, 2 outs again after the foul off to the right side from the right-handed hitter Bay. Gladish this time will take off on 2-2. Pitch is in the zone. Got him on a looking strike 3 and nothing for the Prospectors. They'll have one more shot at it unless they allow 6 right here. They're down by 4, the Prospectors. Again, trailed 12-2 in this game. They've fought it out to a full night of baseball. Bottom of the 8th with the Foxes to the plate at 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Gavina, Heikert, and Einen. Pitching change for the NoCo Prospectors to get into the bottom of the 8th. What the Foxes hope will be their last time batting. They will face Jack McCray, big righty from Berthoud, Colorado, plays at Western Nebraska CC. Jack McCray, 6'2", righty. Ball one on the first offering from McCray to Cade Gavina. Gunnar Heichert on deck. Elijah Einen will bat in this inning. It's the 6, 7, and 8 batters. Has missed twice now, down and away, has McCray to open his appearance. Here's McCray on the 2-0, and again, that's down. Saw that in his warm-ups, too. He was down. It's a pretty good angle off this tall mound at City Park. McCray, pretty good velo, and had that sharp down angle to his trajectory, but 3 balls to show for it. Now he gets one up and into the zone, 3-1. Kyler Adams fired that back with a little extra gusto. The catcher throws a rocket back out. 3-1 count to Gavina. Fox's bullpen active. That ball in the zone hit to left, and that will drop right in front of the left fielder, catcher Gladish. Solid single on a 3-1 pitch from Gavina. Second hit of the night for Cade. He has bookended his night. Single in the first. Line out in the second. Ground outs in the 4th and 5th, and now a single in the 8th for Cade Gavina. Gunnar Heichert hitless in 3 at-bats. He's got 4 plate appearances. A little bunt shown there and a throw behind the runner at first by the catcher Adams. Back safely is Gavina. So Heichert shortened up to the bunt position and took for a ball. See if he offers it again. He does. Bunt shown, and that's a wild pitch flung through the left side batter's box. Heichert in the right side. The wild pitch. Gavina has scoring position attained. Jack McCray attempting to fight his way into contention in these counts. 2-0 count to Heichert. Missed upstairs. It's 3-0. Nobody in the bullpen for the Prospectors. Foxes probably have options with the bullpen active. There's a strike through on a 3-0 pitch, now 3-1. Pitch is upstairs, and that's a walk to Gunnar Heichert.
Heichert takes the walk. Up the bat, number 22, Elijah Einen.
It's a 1-2 count. Or I'm sorry, at first and second. Bases set up. I was clicking the bug there doing my other job. It's not a 1-2 count. It's an 0-0. That was a refresh. First and second where the runners are now at with no count. And in comes Einen. Einen does not indicate bunt on a ball that's down and out. Foxes looked like they were considering the sack to try to add another run on, pad the tally to their final frame of defense. Again, no bunt shown. That pitch got the outer edge. 1-1 count. Pitch good for a strike. It's 2-1. All right, make it 1-2. Sorry, I keep looking up at the scoreboard, and I got to stop doing that. It's been wrong all night. So I'll look at Justin Moore. He's not always showing the count from behind the plate, but he did right there to a 1-2 with nobody out, 2 aboard, fouled off by Einen. Elijah, 3 hits in the game, has not been out. Single, double hit by pitch. It's the kind of night you roll out of bed for around 2 p.m. on a night game. I don't think that's what he did, but wouldn't be the worst way to live. Pitch was pretty good, not called a strike. Would have been a strikeout pitch, but it pops off the glove of catcher Kyler Adams. Again, I don't know if that's a cross-up. That pitch looked like it might have been in the zone. The runners move up to second and third on a passed ball that got a bunch of glove. Yeah, Chris Nobby, the lead guy for the Prospectors, just yelled over to his catcher, hey, do you know the signs? You guys straight on signs here. Here's the pitch on a 2-2 offering. Adams had it trickle away from him down in the dirt, but just a little bit. Runners can't move up. Now a full count. Full count pitch is wild out of the zone. That's going to score a run. Home comes Gavina. First and third go the runners on a walk pitch to Einen that sailed up and away. Pass ball, wild pitch, bring around Cade Gavina. 14-9. Foxes with nobody out in the bottom of 8 as the wind picks up again. Funny, though, the flag out in left field is not moving at all. Trees here are moving a lot. So it's spotty wind. First and third do count. Number 9 batter Vinny Engel swinging at the first pitch, fouls it away. Oh, 1 pitch coming from McCray. Chopped foul first base line. Braden Thompson ran to it, knocked it down. It was foul. 2 strikes on the board against Vinny Engel. Engel with a single and a walk in his 4 at-bats on the night. Hit into a double play in the 6th. Prospectors would love that right now on this 0-2 from McCray. That is lifted to center. High ball floating out now to the right side a little bit, running through it, and a fake tag at third. The wind, obviously is blowing up there. You can see the flags around me. You can't, but I can. Are blowing pretty briskly, while the left field foul pole American flag it's got a little dance to it, but not much. That fly ball was headed to center, wound up being caught on a run through by the right fielder, Dalton Berg. Heady play by Berg there to get after that ball when it went up. It didn't look at all like it was a right field ball. It ends up being shallow, and he runs through it and does not allow the tag up. 1 away. Top of the order for Nori Todd. Takes a strike, down and away. Todd has been on base every time he's been summoned to the plate. 3 for 4, a couple singles, a double, and a walk. Tough to turn 2 on Todd. Runner's going to take off here. Throw through from catcher Kyler Adams, who crouches down. He wanted the tag thrown down. His shortstop Schilling took the throw, and throw beat him. It was to the third base side of the bag. Schilling caught it, started a tag, and then just looked back to third to the runner Heikert, who did not break. Second and third now the runners for Nori Todd. Inside with that pitch across the lettering of his Foxes jersey. First base coach now for the Foxes is Parker Fagans taking over duties down there. Prospectors do have the bullpen working with McCrae trying to get through this bottom of the 8th. Delivers a ball to Todd. It's 3-1 the count. Deep in the night now in City Park. 3-1 pitch from McCrae. It bounces out of the glove of Adams at the plate. Outmade. Adams, it's a walk pitch to Nori Todd. Ball bounces out again from the glove of Kyler Adams. It just goes a little ways behind him. Runner from third tried it, and Heichert is out. Catcher getting the ball back to pitcher McCrae for out number 2. Walk to Todd. Moving up to third base on the play went Elijah Einen. Corners here. Todd should be taking a bag. We'll see when he takes it. Nori at first base. Strike 1 opens the count to Owen May. El Paso County Baseball Miracles of Colorado Springs in the top of the 9th inning, leading 5-4 over the Western Nebraska Pioneers, with runners at first and third and 1 out for the Pioneers in their last bat, down by 1 at UC Health Park in Colorado Springs. Miracles trying to hold on for what some would consider an upset in Front Range League play, early season indications at least. Good for the Pioneer, or good for the Miracles. They look like they're putting it together, getting that roster dialed in. 1-1 pitch here from McCrae, misses for a 2-1 count to Owen May. All Front Range League games stream on the Front Range Baseball Network on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Front Range Baseball Network on YouTube, at Front Range Baseball Network. Todd takes off early, and no twitch from the pitcher, McCrae. He went to the plate but missed the zone. It's a 3-1 count with Nori Todd stealing second base. That one's not considered defensive indifference because he took off early before the motion even started. He stole it really before the pitch even got to the plate. Swing and a miss, and a full count now for Owen May, who went for it on that hack. Full count, 2 outs, 2 aboard. Here's the pitch from McCrae. 3-2 pitch. Got it on the outside edge. May thought he had ball 4. He did not. That is strikeout. 1 run comes across for the Foxes, and it's the last shot for the Prospectors. 14-9. Foxes with the 5-run pad to the top of the 9th inning. Final frame from City Park in Fort Collins, and it will be the 7-8-9. Adams, Satterfield, and Thompson scheduled to bat for the Prospectors in their last crack to bust down this 5-run deficit. On comes Connor Grease to close out for the Foxes in the 9th inning. Connor Grease, a 6'3" righty from Loveland High School in Colorado. Indian Hills CC in Iowa, his college home. Pitch 1 is a swing and a strike, and a pinch hitter for Kyler Adams, the catcher. Prospectors send Genoa Trujillo to the plate. Genoa Trujillo, with his team down 5, enters the game as a pinch hitter in the number 7 spot. And he watches strike 2 go down and away in the strike zone. It got the zone, but it was dotted at the edge. Step out, time requested and granted for a quick reset for the batter. Trujillo, he swings and misses. Strikeout on 3 pitches from Connor Grease.
That strike brought to you by Local Union 247365. We like strikes.
37, Jace Satterfield.
Jace Satterfield, number 8 batter, with 1 away. Strike pitched by Grease. He's thrown 4 pitches, 4 strikes. It's a great job of jumping in and getting right to it. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch that got down in the dirt. He got Satterfield expecting strikes and then tantalized him with something that broke out of the zone. 0-2. Grease. Firing away. Here he comes on the 0-2 pitch. Bends another one, and that's a back-to-back 3-pitch swinging strikeouts, 2 down. Satterfield is out, and the last hope for the Prospectors, looking at a 5-run deficit. Braden Thompson, number 9 batter.
That ball brought to you by Rocky Mountain Oysters.
First ball thrown by Connor Grease, 1-0 count to Thompson. Now back-to-back balls, 2-0 count. In Colorado Springs, the Western Nebraska Pioneers have grabbed the lead in the top of the 9th. They were trailing, now up 6-5, scoring in that final frame at UC Health Park. Miracles will bat again, but now they'll bat with a deficit. Good one going there, 6-5. Pioneers on top in the top of 9 with 2 outs and runners at second and third. Lancaster batting, trying to extend on the Pioneers' lead that they just grabbed here. 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch from Grease. He missed it. There's a foul ball away to the right side from Thompson, who's trying to pass the baton here, keep it alive with a bending pitch that went out of the zone. Scoreboard, I think, is off again. I believe it's 3-1 here. Here's the pitch from Grease. Fires it through to a full count. Swing and a miss from Thompson. He went upstairs. Thompson offered at it. 2 down here in the top of 9. Bases clear. Grease, chance here to strike out this side. That'd be the second time tonight that would have happened. Grease's pitch on a 3-2. He missed. Now, again, the debate rages, but I'll tell you, if he strikes out the next guy, it's not striking out the side.
Number 23, Riley Suarez.
Because 4 guys came to the plate. I believe in the old, it's got to be 3 up, 3 down strikeout to get strikeout the side. But others think if you strike out 3, even if you give up 27 runs in the inning, face 34 batters, not sure if that's actually possible. Let me run that math. But you strike out 3, that'd be striking out the side. Strike delivered on the first pitch to Riley Suarez. Top of the order here for Prospectors with 2 out and 1 aboard. Braden Thompson asking his dad across the way, Jamie Thompson, to rerun the signs. I'm not sure what they'd be calling right here. I don't think Braden would be going anywhere from first. Down by 5. 2 out, and your leadoff man up. Pitch from Grease takes us to a 1-1 count to Suarez. Breaking ball, that's lifted to right center, drifting over, now adjusting back to it, and gloving the final out of this win for the Foxes. Nick Bertucci in right field makes the catch. Suarez flies out, and the Foxes win it 14-9 is the final count from City Park in Fort Collins. The Fort Collins Foxes scored 9 in the first inning, 3 more in the second. They led 12-2 after 2, and they grind out a 14-9 win with the final out, a fly out to right field. And the Foxes take the 5-run win over the Prospectors. Remember KeyBank? Our thanks to KeyBank, the exclusive sponsor of Fox's game streams on the Front Range Baseball Network. No monthly fees. Now's the time. Open a Key Smart checking account. Simple, smart, and built for you. Visit one of 3 Fort Collins or Loveland locations to learn more. Thanks to KeyBank. 2 home runs in this game for cleanup batter and left fielder for the NoCo Prospectors, catcher Gladish. He homered in the first and third innings, sac fly in the fourth. He had 6 RBI with his 2 home runs in tonight's game, leading the offensive effort for the Prospectors. Foxes had action all up and down the lineup tonight. Nori Todd back at it with the Foxes this year out of the leadoff spot. Was never retired tonight. 5 plate appearances, reached base all 5 times, twice by walk, and 3 hits, single, and a double in his mix. Off the top of the order, Todd lights up the offense, leading to a 14-run outcome for the Foxes. 14-9 is the final score here at City Park in Fort Collins on the Front Range Baseball Network. Little update from Colorado Springs. The Pioneers pushed a couple more across. They'll go to the bottom of the 9th, leading 8-5. The Pioneers over the Miracles of Colorado Springs with 1 shot left in the bottom of the 9th for the Miracles. Boulder 64s won 16-9 in Greeley tonight. Those 3 games, the results across the league tonight. And tomorrow back here at City Park, another one coming at you from Fort Collins. Our action across the Front Range Baseball Network tomorrow night will present, looks like 5 games on the docket, including a doubleheader in Pueblo for Diamond Club and Spradley Collegians, 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, 7-inning games in the doubleheader for Diamond Club and Spradley Collegians of Pueblo at 5 and 7 on the Front Range Baseball Network. It'll be a 5 o'clock start here on the network for the Boulder 64s and Greeley Grays again tomorrow night from University High in Greeley, 5 o'clock Mountain Time. Prospectors and Foxes again go at it here at City Park at 6:05. And the Western Nebraska Pioneers again in Colorado Springs with the Miracles, 6:35 p.m. on the Front Range Baseball Network. Those games all coming your way when we dawn a new day of broadcast on the Front Range Baseball Network. 14-9 is the final count. Foxes win, and these 2 teams meet again tomorrow night from the same spot in City Park. Thanks for joining us on the Front Range Baseball Network. I'm Thad Anderson. Foxes win by 5.